Welcome to Buckle Up Podcast with your host, Shablee McGinnis. How y'all doing out there? I hope y'all doing good, because I'm doing good. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you. Yes. So, let's get right into it, guys. Thanks for listening. Please like and share. I'm going to say that again. If you like my podcast, please like and share. And be free to comment too on the platforms as well. So I want to just go ahead and get into it. We have the outcome now of the election. So we have 4 more recoming years of Trump. Kamala Harris did not win. And I was very depressed about that, because I so wanted her to win. I wanted democracy to happen for this country. But we have Trump. So with him going back to the White House, I just want to say that we just need to keep our prayers up within ourselves and our communities. Get your passport in case we got to leave out of here in a hurry. Because that's what I told my husband. I said we're going to get our passports in case we got to leave out of here in a hurry. But we don't know what this new administration is going to do when he gets back into office in January. So we just have to keep living our life and being covered through Christ in our day-to-day living, because we don't know what the next 4 years bring us. So with that being said, he is going to be our president. I'm going to have a special guest talk about this topic. I'm going to have a episode where we're going to talk about how President Trump's election is affecting women and our reproductive rights. And the person that I am going to have this conversation with, and she's going to be a guest host, we just got to put things together so that we can go ahead and do this episode about this topic. This person I used to work with for 4 years. She's a nurse practitioner, and she specialized in women reproductive health. She's a midwife, and with this election happening and Trump being the president, is affecting is going to be affecting her and her patients outright. So we're going to have a discussion on that. So just stay tuned when that episode is going to air. It'll probably air in the next season, but we're definitely going to have a conversation in regards to that. So stay tuned for that. But on another note, guys, I'm animated. So on another note, Thanksgiving will be here next week, guys. Oh my God, I am so happy. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays to celebrate. I don't even care about Christmas. Thanksgiving is my holiday. That's the holiday that I make sure that I take time off from work every year to spend with my family and friends, because Thanksgiving has always been a special day for me since I was a little girl. I remember my mom taking us to my grandmother's house on Thanksgiving, and me running up in my grandma's house smelling all that good food, Southern food, because my grandmother was born and raised in Belhaven, North Carolina, and I remember us going to Brooklyn Red Hook projects where my grandmother lives, and we would go there for Thanksgiving. I get to see my cousins. I get to smell and eat all the good Southern food because my grandmother was a good cook. And she passed that on to her grandkids. So, we got a little hand in that. We can cook. We can throw down on some Southern food. And yeah, I just remember those days going to Red Hook to my grandmother's house for Thanksgiving, and just the family being there, seeing my cousins, and just eating some good food and just getting full off of it. And moving fast forward, I have my own family, and I cook for my family on Thanksgiving, and that's the time that everybody is under one roof because life is just so busy for us that you don't have time to see family on the regular like you would want to see them. So Thanksgiving dinner at my house is like, all my boys and their friends are here sitting, eating good food, and just enjoying each other's company and loving on each other. And that is why Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays of the year. I don't care about Christmas. It's too much hype in it. My kids are grown. The only one that's really getting a Christmas gift right now is, my granddaughter. She gets 2 gifts because her birthday is 2 days before Christmas. So we never give her 1 gift. We always give her 2 gifts. But yeah, Thanksgiving is everything to me. And I don't like to see that people are alone for Thanksgiving. So if you know somebody who might be alone for Thanksgiving, go knock on their door, give them a plate, send them a phone call, send them a text, let them know that you're thinking about them, because this is the time where people get really, really depressed and suicide rate is high. Because of depression. People have lost loved ones, so they're missing them. People may be going through a struggle in life, financially, socially, and it doesn't cost anything to knock on someone's door and give them a plate. Get on the telephone and call them and say, Happy Thanksgiving. I was just thinking about you. It's always the little things that are the best gestures, and that are the gestures that people can remember and will remember for the rest of, their life. It's not what you do. It's a lot of things about what you say and do, that holds dear to people's heart, especially on holidays, where there's a lot of lonesome, and you just want to make sure that you let those people know that they're not alone in this world. But yes, Thanksgiving is my holiday. So for me and my family, we are going to my cousin's house in North Carolina for Thanksgiving. So we'll be spending Thanksgiving with them, and it's been a long time coming because I haven't seen them since my wedding. So it is so nice to reconnect with my cousins and some of my other cousins that will be there. I haven't seen them in years. So we'll be going there and having fun. I look forward to seeing them. In my household, like I said, I normally cook, but now that I'm an empty nester and it's just me and my husband, we're going to go back to rotating our holidays. We haven't done that since his father passed. So what I mean by that is one year we go to my family, one year we go to his family, so that everybody is feeling loved, okay, by his presence and my presence, but his presence and my presence, you get it. So anyway, yep, so that's what we do, in my house, in my household. That's what we do. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to not cooking this year. So that is a blessing. And I'm just so grateful that we are going to be able to go and hang out with my cousins for Thanksgiving. yeah, so don't be alone on the holiday. What you guys doing? What are you guys cooking? Are you cooking anything traditional? Are you going to come out of traditional cooking and cook something else besides a turkey? I noticed that some families, they don't cook the traditional dinner. They may have, on Thanksgiving, they just may have a seafood dinner, or they just may have an Italian dinner, which is cool, because the whole concept of Thanksgiving to me is about being around your friends and your family, and you guys are loving on one another, having fun with one another, having great conversations, playing games, and just enjoying the moment. Because we all work so hard that we don't have that time unless we actually make the time to enjoy the moments of life with our family and our friends, because everything is just work, and there's time that you have to spend some time with your family. So, what better way is Thanksgiving and any other day that you can plan for it, because usually Thanksgiving is every day. You got to be thankful for the little things, as waking up in the morning, being able to brush your teeth, being able to walk, because somebody woke up this morning that couldn't get out of their bed to walk. Somebody this morning got to rely on help to help them out of their bed, where they normally, will get out of their bed on their own. So you just got to be thankful for the little things in life, because life is precious and life is short. And around this time, around the holidays, like I said, people get depressed and a lot of suicide rates go high around this time. So just make sure that you love on your loved ones, be kind to strangers, and just, be grateful for every little thing that you have and achieved in your life, So, with that being said, I'm not going to hold my listeners. I'm just so happy that you are listening to my podcast and that you are supporting my podcast. Please keep on supporting so that this podcast can be very successful. And I have that to thank you guys for. Just because of your love and support. So please tell a friend, subscribe, share, comment on this podcast. And I thank you so much for listening. So I'm going to end this podcast as I normally do with a word from Proverbs 3:5. And that says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. I know that you guys know what that means. So I'm not even going to go into it because it's self-explanatory. And for someone who is new, that hasn't listened to this podcast, I do this at the end of my podcast because I always put God in everything that I do. So I'm going to read this one more time. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. Okay? Don't lean on your own understanding. Put God first. Trust that He's going to take you down the path that you need to be on. Sometimes the path that we want to be on is not the path for us. So we have to trust in the Lord to make sure that He directs us in the path that we should be walking. And if we don't know the path that we should be walking, we should be praying to God and asking Him for revelation for that path, so He can direct us in that path. Because everything we do in this lifetime is for the will of God and to step into our own personal purpose. So on that note, thanks for listening. I will catch you guys on the flip side. Keep your head up, keep your shoulders back, and keep on walking in your purpose, baby. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Bye for now.